Hello viewers, in this informational video, the team consisting of Briken, Rhaseda, Matar, and Ryan will attempt to further the knowledge of viewers and those in the community on transit safety. Out of the 1.87 million New Yorkers opting to use the NYC transit system as a means to travel throughout the city, combined with the hustle and bustle of New Yorkers, someone is bound to get injured if not knowledgeable of some simple, easy followable guidelines. Our first segment will consist of animations depicting some guidelines in action. Sit back and enjoy. In scene 1 of the animations, we can see our friend walking down the stairway and keeping to his right, while holding onto the handrail. At first he is running, but to ensure one's safety you should walk, and do not run on stairs and platforms. The next safety guideline that one should be knowledgeable of, is to stay away from the edge of the platform, indicated by the yellow painted line. For your safety, you should never step on or over the edge of the platform, for trains can come in either direction, and you run a risk of possibly slipping onto the tracks. In scene 2, we see our friend impatiently waiting for the train to open its doors. As he makes his way into the train, it is important for him to watch the gap between the train and the platform. One should be aware of this gap, and make sure they look down and step over it, so they can avoid falling into the gap. Once our friend is inside the train, it is important to keep clothing and personal effects clear of the closing doors. One should also know not to hold car doors open, for it is dangerous. Bear in mind that you should move further into the train so you do not block the doors when other passengers board. In scene 3 of the animations, we can see our friend sitting down and riding the train. If you cannot get a seat when the train is in motion, make sure you hold on to a pole or handrail, to ensure you don't lose your balance or fall. Remember not to lean on train doors. It is dangerous to do so for various reasons. One being, is that the train periodically opens and closes when they temporarily park at a stop. In scene 4, we can see our friend waiting on the bus. To ensure your safety, it is best to never step onto the street to see if the bus is on its way, so one can avoid the possibility of an accident with passing cars. When entering and exiting a bus, one should hold onto a railing to make sure they maintain balance, and do not slip or fall while climbing and descending bus steps. In scene 5, we can see our friend opting to stand in an empty bus. A safety guideline that should be followed is to stay seated, or hold a handrail when the bus is in motion. This guideline ensures that one does not lose their balance while on a bus. Another guideline to follow when riding the bus is to keep baggage, strollers, and other obstructions out of the aisle. One should make sure that they keep the aisle clear for other passengers to navigate around the bus with ease. We can see that our friend has picked up his briefcase that he left on the aisle floor. Good job. In segment 2, the team will go into the community and hand out the official MTA safety guideline pamphlet, which contains more than 75 tips and is printed in 5 languages. They will interview some passerbys in an attempt to receive feedback regarding the safety guideline pamphlet.
Hey, I'm Briken. I'm here with Sheila. How are you, Sheila? I'm going to ask you a few questions about the MPA safety. Okay, so what have you learned after reviewing the pamphlet?
Well, take caution and not standing near the edge. Okay. And pay close attention to the announcements when they make them.
And like, what guidelines may you implement now that you're using the transit system?
Well, the guidelines is that I be more cautious. Listen to music while I'm traveling, and aware of what's going on around me. Okay, till Friday. Okay.
I'm with Adeline. How are you?
I'm good, and you?
I'm going to ask you some questions about the first route I just gave you. So, what have you learned about reviewing the pamphlet?
Well, so far I've seen do not lean over the platform to see if the train is coming because that could be quite dangerous for any passengers boarding the train.
Last question, what guidelines may you implement now when you're using the transit system?
Well, stay away from the platform edge because that's how most accidents happen and that's how many deaths occur.
Thank you.
I've learned that, taking the transportation system, the subway or the bus requires more safety. And just acknowledging of your surroundings. It's like, telling me things about like mothers and your daughter and the child, taking their time and or not holding the door and so on and so forth. So it's pretty cool.
Hi, I'm here with Adam, and I'm going to ask him a couple of questions on the pamphlet. So Adam, what have you learned after reviewing the pamphlet?
Never to ride, walk, or board between the cars.
Okay. And my second question is, what guidelines may you implement now when using the transit system?
Not to change cars while I'm on the subway.
Okay. All right. Thank you, Adam.
Hello, we're here in City Tech with Anne and Elisa. I'm going to ask you guys some questions. about the NYC Transit. What have you learned after reviewing the pamphlet?
Well, after reviewing the pamphlet, there's a lot of rules and guidelines that people need to follow, but they don't. Like for one, roll close up your stroller when you enter the train. Most people just roll on with the stroller open.
Oh, I've learned that if you see something, say something. Usually, no one says anything, and people don't usually follow the guidelines and stuff, rules, because people don't care. It's in here.
What guidelines may you implement now when using the transit system?
Well, when going for the train, I won't stand lean forward to see if the train's coming because many people fell and died that way.
I will keep doing the same thing I've been doing, which is standing far away from the train tracks, as she said, and nothing else.
Thank you guys so much.
I'm here with Andres, and I'm just going to ask him 2 questions. So, Andres, what have you learned after reading the pamphlet? I've learned there's a lot of good information in this pamphlet that concerns the safety of our citizens in New York. And I believe that everybody should also read this pamphlet. It's very informative, and it's also pretty cool. I mean, there's a lot of things here that I didn't know about safety in the transit system. So I think it was pretty cool.
So what guidelines were you implementing now when you're doing the transit system?
I think the guidelines that we should implement are, adding more safety when it comes to the buses and the subway. Giving our citizens more information about them. So, a lot of things happen in New York. It's a crazy city. So, anything can happen. That's the cool thing about it. So people should get informed about it too.
Thank you so much, Andrew.
No problem.
Hello, I'm with Christina. Hi, I'm going to ask you some questions about the NYC Transit. What have you learned after reviewing the pamphlet?
Well, I learned that you shouldn't move in between train cars.
Right.
And I also learned that emergency exit gates allow customers to evacuate in case of emergency.
What guidelines may you implement now when using the transit system?
Well, I don't want to get a ticket, so I won't be moving in between train
Right.
cars. I heard that fine's pretty big.
Thank you.
Thank you.
That concludes this informational video. The team hopes that they helped further your knowledge of transit safety. Thank you for your time, and remember, safety first.